So sorry if you were watching. We got what do you call it? A warning
A warning.
on the
Yeah.
content we are showing. I don't know why or what, but we're gonna fight it and figure it out. But I'm still allowed to live stream, so we'll be here.
It's just really interesting because your channel has focused on like some really like kind of outrageous things that have
Yes,
made people a little bit squeamish, and you haven't gotten sorry you haven't gotten in trouble with YouTube for those.
no, I mean we haven't.
And this was something this was something just to do
Yay!
with get out of here, guys, come on, get enough.
The cats they keep bumping stuff and
They're like done, and it's like this isn't fair because now we're behind.
yeah. So we had a really good setup. We're hoping to get that footage back, but we can't right now. So it's gonna take some time and some fighting. Uh, Nefer will be working on that. I'm sure of it. But yeah, we were just talking
We got a
about.
message from Yeet saying, she said it was in response to this, I believe. All right, Yeet YouTube. Yeet just YouTube being YouTube, bullying small creators.
Yes, it really is, and we
True
don't know if
that.
somebody reported us for it or whatever the
Yeah,
reason.
this was historical. This
Yeah,
was talking about historical things with, women being, legitimate badasses in history.
exactly.
And they took that down. I mean, that's information that's supposed to be shared.
We were just getting into the Egyptian too.
Yeah. And I
Looking
mean,
forward to that. So for at this very moment, we're not gonna show any more of the footage. We're gonna kind of review with each other and over the thing about what was and stuff until we figure out just why they might have done that to us. So until we get that fixed, but trust and believe, I will be back on Wednesday again, on Friday again. We'll be back with more. I mean, we're not stopping.
we will spread the truth and the way and give, your
And
opinion on everything that has to
yep,
do with the fall of Western society.
we will for sure. And I will make sure to expose this woke insanity too.
The agenda.
Yep.
And
Uh,
so, I think we started last time by saying that with even within our own tribes, we didn't really have a lot of government leaders or powerful warriors, but we do have stories of women that were strong and courageous. And even as
yes.
a practical law, the women were the ones that held property and managed the money in the household. They had roles in tribal society. They had roles in sometimes, like bigger decisions and everything. They had their own businesses. They
Exactly.
made their own crafts. They managed their own house. The house is her domain.
Yes.
That was even from a small Mesopotamian tribe, 6,000 years ago. 6,000, 4,000 years ago. And so you see it all throughout history, whether there's been powerful warriors or powerful women leaders, women have never really been that oppressed.
No, no, they haven't. And I mean, it as we are going to get into towards the end of this one, it's about what
Roman Greece.
Roman Greece that
Yeah.
really started showing why women were saying that they were oppressed and
Right. About the time that the Romans arrived and the Greeks, they kind of came up with this idea. You saw it with the makeup as well. They said they didn't want women wearing makeup because it was trickery, it was false. But for the people coming before them, it was a sacred thing, to do your makeup was sacred. But they took this
yes,
feminine thing and they said, no, it's trickery, it's false, and you better not wear makeup, it's too much. And they also thought that women shouldn't be taught to read or taught to write because she would be a poison to her household and a poison to society. So they
yep.
discouraged that.
The Western idolization started.
Exactly. So we started off by talking about examples of biblical women.
Yes, and that was a really good one too. There's a lot of really good women there too.
Yes. And it's like we count dozens of major historical figures all the way down to minor historical figures immortalized in a book, the most famous book in the world, the book that sold the most copies. All of those women and their courage and their sacrifice, their suffering, all recorded for everybody to read, learn from, and be inspired from now.
Yeah,
That's the first example, you know? No, I don't see very many oppressed women there.
No. And I mean,
Excuse me.
like we were talking about how a lot of them were Asian too. It seemed.
Well, we're talking about the first video. We haven't gotten into the
Oh, okay.
Asian ones
Yeah.
yet. That's the example that you brought up here on this one was Esther.
Yes.
Are you okay?
What?
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Esther. And I loved that one because I was saying that we had watched the Bible series collection.
Yeah, it was Solomon. Yes.
Solomon, yeah. And she went up in front of the king, even though she could get, killed, even though she could get stoned. I mean, there was so much that could happen, but in order to protect her people, and she had to say that she was part, what was it?
Well, she was full Hebrew.
Yeah, she was full Hebrew.
Right.
And they didn't know that.
Right.
As her being the queen of Persia, right?
Persia, yeah.
Persia.
They said that she was a Babylonian girl, and then she got in there. He fell in love with her. She had a purity that just, changed his heart, changed his thinking, and she was actually Hebrew.
Yeah.
She was actually one of the lowlifes that they were having to deal with there. Then.
For sure.
I mean, that could have gone so badly for her.
It could have.
But
I
she
mean,
had faith.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest things, and she said, "You know what? No, I've got to do this."
Yeah.
And that was the biggest thing, and it changed everything.
Yeah, the nobility and the honor.
Yes.
And the risk and the sacrifice that you see with these biblical women, it was just like that's immortalized. Everybody should be learning from that.
They should, for sure.
But you get the modern women mindset where it's me, 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 me. You better get me your bag. I gotta make my own bag. And like we talked about on my channel, they talk about it being the Proverbs 31 investor, manifestor, whatever. And it's like, but you don't understand, like, the Proverbs 31 women put faith in God and something, the Most High, above all else. And that's the main component that's missing with these modern women.
Yeah, for sure.
But they hide behind that, acting like they're some sort of biblical character. And you can clearly see that they're not. They're seriously lacking in that department.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you don't have anything else to say, we can move on to the Warriors.
We're good there.
Okay, so the second one that we watched was the 10 Badass Warrior Women in History.
Yeah, that was a really good one, too.
Oh, see, we missed so much conversation on that.
I know. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we can get some of that video back. I don't know how that works. Nefer will be fighting that and trying to do what we can.
Yeah. A lot of these were, as you were saying, Asian women.
Yes.
They were definitely warriors, generals.
And I mean, they live up to the name on there.
Uh-huh. There's some really good stories here. So if you want to check that out, it's by History Channel, 10 Badass Warrior Women. There was also the pirate that I told you about.
Yes.
Who helped with human trafficking later on, had a legitimate business. She ran the high seas for a while and then retired, and she lived to be like 110 years old, at least according to legend. And then on the flip side of that, you had the Chinese women that were running the railroad and opium and sex trafficking circuit out here in the West, bringing people in from China.
Yeah.
It was all run by a woman.
It was for sure.
So wherever there has been willful women, they've made a way.
One of the last ones was a Nigerian queen too.
Yes, and
her brother first became king, and in war it was still her that was pretty much the general in battle. She still, commanded the field. And then he ended up dying on the field, and so she became queen.
Yep.
And went on to serve quite a while, along with a lot of good battles.
That's right. And when she would complete a battle, she would choose one man from the village or the city that she raised, and made him her husband for the night, and then had him executed the next day.
Yep.
So we were saying, imagine the children that could come from that union. The legacy, it's like,
I know.
Those were chosen men, it was different. I mean, it was cool.
It was very cool. Which after that one, then we were getting on to the Egyptian.
That's as far as we got, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, so like in ancient Egypt, they had many female pharaohs, Hatshepsut, Nefertiri, Nefertari. They were all regarded as just as much of an equal king as anybody else. And sometimes they were represented with the beard, which is still the masculine trait, but,
Yes.
but not all the time.
I mean, women have always been, behind the scenes, steering the male.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Even Pontius Pilate was warned by his wife not to get associated with that person.
Yep.
Because of her prophetic dreams.
Exactly.
And now his fate is to be ever remembered as the one who just indifferently washed his hands.
And that was it.
And I also assign him to go find my trinkets whenever I lose them.
I know. You tie something.
Yep. But I guess we'll have to see where this goes, and then we can get back into it. And here, hold on. Do you have anything to talk about in the meantime while I look this up?
There's somebody in the room watching, so hello whoever is watching. I don't have chat pulled up to see if anybody has anything else to add. I mean, this was a pretty interesting one. Unfortunately, somebody had to
ruin the history lesson.
Yep. Okay, chat is pulled up now. If there's something to say, we're here. Sorry that we can't show everything that we were. I don't know why with that or what happened, but we'll get that dealt with. I mean, I'm just happy that we're able to still live stream. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're trying to finish up our recap, right?
Yeah, this is the female rulers of ancient Egypt. We have Hatshepsut, whose name means foremost of noble women, has generally been regarded as one of the most successful pharaohs in Egyptian history. Hatshepsut learned foreign suppression from her mother and it provided Egypt with a source of wealth. She organized at least 4 military campaigns. So that's Hatshepsut. Of course, everybody knows about Cleopatra.
Yes.
She was Greek. She was more toward the end of everything. But she too knew many languages and was a really good diplomat.
Very much so, yes. We have Chatty Charlie in the room right now.
Hi. So she was the last pharaoh during the Ptolemy dynasty.
Which is what was the years on that?
Let's see. 176 BC is when it ended, so.
Okay.
Cleopatra is mostly known, of course, for a life of epic love affairs, all to keep Egypt independent from the Roman Empire. So she had different relations with Mark Antony, and I forgot the other one. But the modern women will commonly reference her, so you can kind of get it.
Yeah.
But it was during the Greek era.
Yeah.
Again, it was definitely a different. It was a shift in thinking. Just not good. But yeah, we'll just we'll wrap it up there, and I'll see what's going on with the community guideline thing.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get more of that one out again coming up here. Like I said, we had a bit more we wanted to show, but until we figure out what exactly happened, we can't. So, namaste.
Well, hold on. I guess the main takeaway of this whole thing was, when have women been oppressed? They haven't been. Where there has always been a willful woman, there has been a way, and they have made history in that way. So
that is for sure.
That was what I took away from it, anyway.
That exactly right. I agree.
You sound like a simp.
I'm not.
But you sound like one.
Namaste.
Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm. Listen to that. How do you?
Do you see the X? No, you have to touch the X. There you go.